Pintrest pays nearly $90 million to cancel a lease. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee and let's have a look at this article from the San Francisco Chronicle discussing Pintrest cancelling a huge office lease on an unbuilt project. Now I know this is in America, but this does ring true with what's been predicted and discussed here in Australia, with some of the biggest commercial office holders saying that future work or the pipeline is going to dry up. I mean, even Sydney Airport Corporation has reduced their capex by $500 million. So it's a big chunk of money, a big chunk of, potential construction work that is going to disappear, and that's going to have economic impacts. And I thought Pintrest is a very good example and a very well-known example. And let's have a look at why they made the decision to just take such a hit on a big project. And the question I put to you, do you think this will happen in Australia? So is now the time to invest in these REITs, real estate investment trusts, or to hold off a bit? Pintrest cancels a huge San Francisco office lease in an unbuilt project, citing a work-from-home shift. A work-from-home shift. More and more people are working from home. I've been doing it for some time. It saved us a lot of money from getting rid of the office. Just the little commute I had, it was only 30 minutes each way, but it really adds up. I mean, that's a beautiful, big building. Someone had spent a lot of time rendering that. They enjoyed it. Pintrest terminated a massive 490,000 square foot lease in San Francisco's unbuilt 88 Bloxham project, citing a shift towards more remote working amid the pandemic. The company will instead continue leasing 4 existing San Francisco offices, including 651 Brannan Street, and pay a one-time fee of $89.5 million to cancel the Bloxham lease. $89.5 million. How far do you think they've gotten on this project? Will the project still go ahead? You'd hope it would, but it may not. I mean, what does this say for the commercial office market in San Francisco, and if not other places? What about WeWork, everyone? Is that looking like such a brilliant idea? The cancellation is the strongest sign yet of how the pandemic is reducing the tech sector's once ferocious appetite for office space. We are analyzing how our workplace will change in a post-pandemic world. We are specifically rethinking where future employees could be based, said Todd Morgenfeld, Pinterest Chief Financial Officer, in a statement. A more distributed workforce will give us the opportunity to hire people from a wider range of backgrounds and experience. I just see gives us the opportunity to outsource people or to reduce our labor costs. I mean, it'll definitely reduce their rent costs. It certainly would. It certainly would. And it will have advantages for people. They can work from home. Only problem is you can't do it as a contractor in San Francisco, can you? They'll nab you. Pintrest, whose users pin photos and websites into shareable collections and which sells advertising amid those pins, said its lease obligations for the project would have been at least $440 million. Numerous other companies have embraced an expansion of remote work with greater geographic diversity for their workforce. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg has said half of the company could work remotely within a decade. Twitter and Square, both led by Jack Dorsey, are allowing almost all employees to work remotely forever. The trend is ominous for the Bay Area's economy, which has received billions of dollars in taxes and real estate fees over the past decade related to new office projects, which were largely leased by tech companies. And see, this is the thing. It's not just that. It's what about all the little coffee shops, all the little businesses that support all the workers that come and go? It's going to have a big impact. And these companies will love this because it'll reduce their costs. I mean, they won't even have to pay for the power for their staff to work, will they, if they're all working from home? Let alone the rental costs and all the other things you have to deal with. And hopefully it would reduce HR issues too. Pintrest had the first and only lease commitment in San Francisco's 230-acre central south of Market District, where numerous large commercial and residential projects have been approved after the city raised height limits last year. City planners expected 30,000 new jobs and 20,000 new residents in the district by 2040, which would help fuel more than $2 billion in public benefits. That project is now in doubt, with office workers staying home and residential rents slipping. The million square foot 88 Bloxham project was set to start construction this year and replace the Bay Club San Francisco tennis, providing benefits including land for affordable housing, a public swimming pool, and replacement tennis courts. Current plans for the project are unclear. In March, the city converted the tennis club into a temporary homeless shelter. Alexandra Real Estate Equities and TGM Partners, owners of 88 Bloxham, didn't immediately respond to a request for comment. Pintrest, which has 2,400 employees globally, currently has job listings in San Francisco, along with Atlanta, Chicago, Australia, Brazil, Canada, Germany, Japan, Singapore, and the UK. The company reported a 4% increase in revenue to $272 million in the second quarter compared to the previous year, with global monthly average users growing 39% to 416 million in that time. And if we jump over here, we can see their share price at the moment is at, $34.49. Their 52-week high is at $38.23, and their 52-week low is at $10.10. Their dividend yield is nothing. Is this another tech company that's never paid a dividend? Is it? Will Pinterest stocks be profitable? Well, there we go. Pinterest isn't profitable yet in April 2019. Looks like it hasn't paid a dividend since then. Let me know any different. What do you think, guys? Worth jumping in? Because all you're hoping for is the future and capital growth. Are you a Pinterest user, actually? Let me know. I have a Pinterest for Heise. Heise says, I think I never really got that into it. I can't. It seems very similar to Instagram. Maybe I need to jump on board. Let me know in the comments, everyone. The company saw recovery in its advertising business but remains unprofitable with a $107 million loss in the quarter. Well, I should have just read that and learned. An unprofitable business, $35 a share. The fundamentals don't matter anymore, Florian. What are you talking about? The fundamentals don't matter. Come on. Former Pinterest Chief Operations Officer Francisco Borgia sued the company this month, alleging gender discrimination and citing an environment where a small number of executives close to CEO Ben Silberman made decisions outside of formal meetings. Well, let's have a look at this gentleman or person. Is it? I want to see what the person looks like. Oh, is that her? What's this? Okay, well, just like this, looks like the standard stuff, guys. Looks like the standard stuff. Well, we'll have to see. What do you think? I mean, there you go. Not just a loss-making company now or embroiled in political issues. The problem is with this type of stuff, with this employee suing, it just presents a risk to these businesses. So what will happen? Businesses will avoid people that could potentially present a risk, and that will result in more discrimination. It's just how it happens. It's just how it happens. If one group or person has a greater propensity to sue, or they've got special laws that allow them to sue or to take action against an employer, that's what happens in a litigious society, everyone. Sometimes these rules put in place to make things fairer and more equitable tend to have the opposite effect. Well, there we have it, everyone. Pinterest in a bit of an interesting situation at the moment, getting sued by former employees, and they've cancelled a huge San Francisco office building. What does this, foreshadow for the commercial office sector in the States? Can we see the same thing happening here in Australia? Are you an investor in Pinterest? Do you think it's going to go sky high? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there's a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or Kucoin. You can buy a merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, everyone. Have a great day, and I will see you all in the next episode.